We have a secret project happening at Corridor Digital. Ow! Glows in the dark!
It all starts at the source, underneath the stairs where the water lives. Here, we find over half the ingredients for one of my most famous dishes, Sam's bachelor party Udon Noodle Soup.
Udon Noodle Soup, all right. Okay, this is a recipe that I've been making for a long time. Basically, it's an LA thing because it requires a good Japanese grocery store to be nearby. You need some special ingredients, but this is how I make it. Screw the experts, don't listen to them. We were out in the desert for Nico's bachelor party last year, and it was a big hit because it's not the type of dish you expect to have in the middle of a campsite in the middle of the desert. But because some of the ingredients kind of come frozen, you can bring them out to the desert, 2 or 3 days can pass, and then it takes a while for them to thaw, and then you can make it fresh. So it kind of all works out. The only problem, it needs a lot of water, so you have to have a huge jug of water along with you to make the broth. What is udon noodle? Udon is these thick rice noodles. I got them right here. Check it out. Right here, frozen udon noodles. These are nice and thick and plump. First off, okay,
Country guy, I got a channel.
Come back, chef.
Come back, chef. So he said a couple things right at the beginning of the story, and that's it. That udon noodle soup, it all starts with the broth.
First again, it's all about making up and whipping up a fine broth. Don't forget to clean your tub, your noodle tub. Out here in the desert, things can get pretty dusty. Scrub that tub, getting those grits out. Broth is water with seasoning.
first off, stove. I gotta turn the gas on. All right, here we go. Here's the thing, the tap water in LA stinks. So I'm using this.
This is how we did it out in the desert.
No. Udon noodle soup, Sam style. Starts with noodles, thin sliced pork belly, and then as a garnish, we have green onions. Here's the secret ingredients though. First secret ingredient, this stuff.
I can't read that.
Me neither. Back in the day, I was like, all right, how do we make good udon soup? Like, what the heck? I go to a Japanese grocery store and I stand in front of a wall of foreign characters and bottles that I cannot read. And I was like, God darn. So what I did is I used the internet and I took a photo of it and I sent it out on Twitter and I said, hey, anyone who can read this wall, what do I need to make udon noodle soup? And one person in particular responded, Joe Moriyama. He was like, hey, I know the good soup bases. So he circles a bunch of the things on the photo I uploaded and sends it right back to me. This was one of the first ones I tried and it was perfect. I can't read a single thing on it, but this is soup base and it's kind of like bouillon, you know, for like broth. All that's really in here is soy sauce, dried fish flakes, a bunch of seasoning, etc., etc. This is the core foundation of a good udon noodle soup. There's plenty of other brands that make this, that some even have English labels. So 1 part base, 3 parts water. You don't want it too salty. This stuff has a ton of salt in it. But I feel like that's a good place to start. The water is taking on a lot of the color already. It smells good, because here's the thing, udon noodle soup has a really thin base typically. It's usually very light, but once again, I like to make my broths hearty. So let's do that. Next up, we have the second foundation of our flavor, thin sliced pork belly. The fat will render in the boiling water, and we'll make the broth thick and rich and tasty and flavorful, plus there'll be pork pieces left over for people to get a little protein. You can get beef. Beef works too, but I like pork because it renders a little more cleanly than beef in my opinion.
Tastes more like humans.
Tastes more like humans. Secret ingredient number 2, and this comes at the broth stage, and it comes afterwards a little too. Japanese rice seasoning. It's like seaweed, some sesame, salt, a little pepper. This one has bonito flakes in it, which is kind of the core foundation flavor of udon and most light Japanese broths. So basically within this container are the staples of Japanese seasoning. A little bit in there, just like that, boom. And now we wait. Basically, I'm gonna wait for it to start boiling and let it boil for about 5 minutes. Get the water hot, get the pork hot, fully cooked, get the meat rendering, make the broth nice, thick, rich, and hearty. And then we put the noodles in. Simple.
Yay, good times.
Oh no. Son, just another jank. Dobie strikes again.
There's no better time than standing in a puddle of jank to tell you guys about the next limited edition tea that's coming out. This is the first time anyone's hearing of this. We are doing a limited edition Dobie tea. Sam went out, he contacted an artist, and he got an artist's rendering of the elusive Dobie, the god of jank, we've captured and put on a t-shirt. Remember, the Dobie shirt is on sale for 10 days and 10 days only. We also put it on this hat right here, which I love hats. I wear them every day. Go on and get that if you're into them. And speaking of hats, we re-released something. The original black and yellow quarter digital snapback hat. We re-released this. It's available now. We also did something else for you. Just in time for fall, a cozy crew neck sweatshirt. Man, this thing is so comfortable. Give it to your girlfriend, give it to your boyfriend, whatever, it's great. Then we added this also amazing, this shirt is so comfortable, I guarantee you'll fall asleep and die in it. That's how comfortable it is. And I don't know if you noticed, we re-released this shirt as well. Not just because it's an awesome shirt, but also because this shirt glows in the dark. That's right. You see corridor, you see digital, and you see the crazy skeleton dude coming up over the mountains. So anyway, all these are available. If you guys are interested, go on and check them out. Remember, the Dobie tea's on sale for 10 days only. quarterdigital.com/store.
Night has fallen. Yeah, there we go. Get myself a nice cup of broth. Good soup. 60% broth. I'm gonna taste my broth here. I'm not gonna lie, a couple things happened here. First off, I didn't get enough soup base, so I had to put a little soy sauce in to salt it back up. The other problem is that since I can't read Japanese or English, I bought the wrong rice seasoning and it's got sugar added into it for a sweet kick. That does not go well with udon soup, so people will have to put that on at the end at their own discretion, all right? Just gonna chug this right now. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's got a little bit of that like fish edge to it, but it's got that hearty pork base. A little salt, a little soy. Perfect. That'll do. All right, let's put the noodles in. Noodles, they come frozen, but they quickly unfreeze when you put them in here. The key is to not overcook them. Just like Italian pasta, it's all about finding that al dente spot, all right? You don't want your noodles to be all mushy and gross and slippery and sloppy. You want them to have a little bit of bite to them, okay? We are going to cook these up. We're gonna boil them. Once they are completely loose and softened up, I'm only gonna let them boil for like another minute or two. Cutting the heat and serving right away. These either.
That's another good part.
I don't want the ends, I don't want either end. I don't want these gross slimy pieces on the outside either.
Those are great.
You don't want the slimers? Look at these little slimers.
Delicious.
The slimers on the outside?
Delicious.
I mean, you probably like eating wilted lettuce too.
I actually don't eat lettuce at all.
Look how slimy this is all slimy.
It's not slimy, just thin.
These outer parts have already started decomposing, which is why they're slippery.
Delicious.
Not delicious. They are decaying. This is decaying matter.
Just like humanity.
Oh my god, you're a nihilist. All right, you're more decaying matter. I'm gonna try and chop these as finely as I possibly can. Not bad. We got some onion. That's enough.
Toss it in.
No. We're not cooking this. This is garnish. You don't cook green onions. Green onions are meant to be eaten raw. You cook them, what do they become? Decaying matter. This is taking about like 17 million years to fix. Well, the noodles aren't frozen anymore. What's the Japanese word for al dente? That's what I want to know. Well, if I knew it, I'd say it, because them noodles are done.
Plaster off the top of the sheetrock.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Hey.
Welcome to JJ's Solutions Firm. What started as a simple project to redo the sound lounge has evolved into J&J's Consultancy, where we don't have problems, we have opportunities for solutions. Really, we've been in business about 2 days, and I gotta say, things are going fantastic. We have a secret project happening at Corridor Digital via JJ's Consulting Firm. The secret project codename is Operation JJ. That's also my son's name, but that's the beauty of it.
Makes it easy to remember.
Yeah, it makes it easy for me to remember. If you guys subscribe, you're gonna see Jarrett and I and Sam build something in this room. Come the end of the month, maybe early November, TBD, but we're gonna be announcing something big for 2019 for Corridor Digital. when we got this space, the guy that lived here previous to us had lived here for 20 years, and the way that he used to make his rent in the late 90s was by throwing raves in this warehouse. When we moved in, the entire studio was running off of two 12-amp breakers. There was a fish pond right there. You can still see remnants of it. He called himself an artist, okay? He had like weird paintings hanging from the ceiling that were the size of the wall, and he had like a
There's a motorcycle.
He had a dirt bike hanging from the ceiling over there, and he had a waterfall, and there was and it would come down right here, and then there was a waterfall right here, and then everything underneath the stairs was a koi pond. See, this is where he drilled in the foundation of the koi pond.
I have noticed that before and never knew that's what that was.
So he had a koi pond, and then this whole thing was a koi pond. And it was all moldy and gross and janky when we moved in. And Steve was like, "You guys want it?" And we're like, "We'll take it." And then we put a bunch of money into it to make it what it is today. Steve built these units. He built all the units in the building. It was a paint powder factory. You know, you go to Home Depot, you buy the base paint, which is just white, and then they put the color into it. That's paint powder. In each of the units, there's this mezzanine. Well, this mezzanine runs the full length of this side of the building because the other side was the office, and this was the production floor. So if you go over to that studio, Studio 5 and 6, you can still see the yellow and pink and blue powder stains on the concrete. So the guys in here redid this studio. And so you can see the mezzanine, it keeps going. This is where they had the mixers. Do you look up there?
Oh yeah.
That's the hoist to move the giant mixers around. The stains, the color stains.
It's not a murder site?
It's not a murder site, no. And this, which is now known, was the blast room, or the testing room, which is why it has this door here. And so they used to test paint in this room. Some things change, some things never do, boys.
What are we gonna serve it in?
Hulk bowls. Anyone want some nudes? Nudes? You want some nudes, dude? Send nudes. Send nudes, please.
But guys, I hope you like your broth.
Actually, no one.
There we go. There we go.
Sam's cooking show back on air. There you go, some green onion.
Decoration. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Let me get a look.
Ooh, that's hot.
Soup's up, boys.
Ow! This freaking steam is burning me alive.
Dude, that's a bowl in mouth.
Oh man.
This is really
Is this
good,
my
Sam.
bowl, Sam?
Yes.
Dude, give me some more garnish.
Get the shots that you sold.
All right, let me see. What is it like then?
Dude, it's so good. Oh. You see where this is?
Thank you, Sam. Oh my gosh.
Dude, how did you do it?
It's a little.
Or it was Janet.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah, he was rolled backwards.
Pretty good.
That's a good lunch.
So that turned out well. I love it. Making food for people is one of the most fun things in the world. It's very rewarding and flavorful. There's no better feeling than seeing people not throw up when they eat your recipes.
Yeah, it's still rewarding if they throw up, just not as much.